G'day, today I'm going to show you how to go from a text file we've taken off our Project Gutenberg right through to printing out the signatures you'll need to bind up a book. And this is the outcome here. It's a whole series of PDFs, one for each signature that we're going to prepare. The first step in preparing our signatures is to get the original text that we're going to turn into our book. Next book I'll be doing is 1984, so I might as well start with that one. Gutenberg.net.au is the Australian Gutenberg site, or Gutenberg.org for overseas people. Of course, check the copyright laws in your particular country, but I know I can download 1984 here. So in the Australian one, I found 1980 or 1984. It's taking me to the George Orwell page and 1984. What we want is the text file. Sometimes you might have an EPUB or a Kindle file. Those are handy as well for later, so if you can find one of them, that's great too. In this case, I'm just going to grab the text file. So we want to right click, save link as, and save that into a temporary folder. In addition to the text file, I've also looked for the EPUB file here. The reason is the text file doesn't have all of the formatting that you need for things like italics or bold. So the EPUB file just lets us refer back to that when we're formatting our Word document a bit later. Now you'll need to create for yourself a template for the books that you're going to be creating. This is a fairly time-consuming process, so I won't go into details here. I will link to two websites that will go through how all the settings that you can use to prepare your templates for books. It has things like headers and footers for the author and your page numbers, and also how to include the gutter, which is the extra margins on the inside of the book that you'll lose when you're rounding and backing in books. Once you've done that, the document should look something like this. Of course, everyone's might be a little bit different, but this is the template that I've done up for my books in the way that I like. For ease of time, I won't go in detail on formatting the text. I'll just give you a few hints and tips, and I'll show you the basic process. This is just some placeholder text I was keeping for the formatting of my book. I don't need that. We want to open up our text file in whatever program, doesn't matter. We don't need any of this stuff at the top. Don't need any of that. Licensing information. Title can be handy later for when you're cutting and pasting onto the title page. And we'll start from the chapter 1 text. If chapter's got a name, I'll start there anyway. Start with this text. Let's see what the bottom looks like. Don't need that. Copy all that to your text document, to your Word document. Paste. There's a few things you'll notice here first. Again, we don't need the title, the part 1, or the chapter 1. Okay, text files will bring across the line return for every line, a paragraph mark for every line, and 2 for the end of each paragraph. The other thing that happens, bold and italics aren't brought through, of course, because it's just a text document, so we'll have to edit all of those manually. The lines though, I'll show you a quick way of getting this done. So you want to go to replace. So to start with, we need to make sure we keep all of our paragraphs. So where there's 2 paragraph marks, we want to keep those. And we'll do that by using placeholder text. So go to paragraph. So what we want to find is paragraph mark, not paragraph character. We want paragraph mark. And we want 2 of those. So anytime there's 2 paragraph marks, we want to replace that with ADAT or percentage, something that's not going to be in the book. It's probably best to just do a search for the book to see if that phrase is in the book somewhere. I've already done that here. Okay, once we've done that, now we want to start from here. We don't want to replace all of the double paragraph marks in the title pages and everything. So starting from here, we want to go search down. So not the whole document, just from there down. And replace all. There's the replacements. Do we want to continue from the beginning? No, we do not. And you'll see we've lost all of our paragraphs and been replaced by ADATs. Now we need to remove all of the line breaks. We can do that just by doing a single paragraph mark. We need to replace those with a space. starting from there, search down, replace all. Be a lot of these. Okay, do you want to continue from the beginning? No, we do not. Now the last thing we need to do is put our paragraphs back in. So we go here. We want to find what? We want to find at. We want to replace that with a double paragraph mark. So special paragraph mark. 2 of those. Starting from the top again. And replace all. Search down, of course. No, we do not want to start from the beginning. And we've got our paragraphs back. Excellent. Next is the very tedious process of editing the Word document to be in a more readable format. This is where the EPUB file that we've opened up comes in handy, so make sure you've got that open. If you've got a second screen, that makes life a lot easier. So starting on chapter 1. Chapter number, chapter 1. There's no chapter subtitles in this book, so we don't need that. You'll notice most of the book, all the text in the book is this normal style that I've got, which is how you want most of the book to be. But my first paragraphs, I like to have a dropped cap. To do that, I have a first paragraph style. So we want first paragraph to be first paragraph, and then I want to put a drop cap in. So if you go to insert, over here under text, you've got dropped. I right click and add it to the quick access toolbar, which puts it up the top here. Then whenever you've got a paragraph that you want, click dropped cap, and you've got that nice big dropped cap that you see in a lot of books. Now go back to your EPUB file and flick through the first paragraph. What you want to look for, so capitals should come through fine, text files can do capitals. So here, war is peace, this slogan here is not going to be centered. So we'll try and find that. Scroll down, here it is, war is peace. So we'll delete that. So there's a lot of spaces here that can go. New line. Okay, delete those spaces, new line for each line, and then it's just a matter of going through and making it look like it is in the EPUB file. And keep going. So we're looking for things like that. Italics, bold. I believe there's some italics. So here we go, April 4th, 1984. April 4th, 1984. Looks like a couple of spaces in front of it again. Grab that, and italics. Sometimes they delineate italics with 2 dashes, and so you could always do a search for that if they do, but this book doesn't look like it does that. And I believe there's another long paragraph. Here we go. April 4th, 1984, a big long paragraph that's all indented a little bit like it's a letter. So I'll go down and find that. Here it is. April 4th, 1984. So delete those lines. This right down to here is all italics, and we want the margins here to be reduced a little bit. So we'll go to layout, indent, and indent it, I don't know, 0.5 on each side. And there we go. So that's all nicely indented from the rest of the text. Go back to the EPUB file and continue on. And we go through the rest of the book in the same manner. Okay, and we're up to chapter 2. So up to chapter 2. When you get to a new chapter, I like a new page for a new chapter. This is where your styles come in again. Heading 2 is what I use for my chapters. So heading 2 for that. There's no subtitles, sorry, I also make them capitals, and you can see up here I spell out. So first thing, as soon as I find, here it is, we want to make that capitals, so uppercase, and we'll replace 2 with 2. And then we go through the same process we went through for the first paragraph. Set that to first paragraph, drop the letter, and go back to the EPUB, start looking through. Once you've gone through the whole book like that, don't forget to set your headers and footers. The author is, oops, can't spell, George Orwell. The book title, 1984. Page numbers are all set up. Okay, now this book is in two parts, so we have to set the parts. Internal book number, let's call that part number, so part 1, and it doesn't have a name in this book, it's just part 1. And I use a section break for those. And you can see the reason for that is we don't really want author's name. So that will keep the author's name on the section, on the main book, but not on these opening pages. It gets rid of it there. And the book name as well. That's why we use the section break next page. Okay, go through, format the whole book like that. Like I said, it is a time-consuming process, but once it's done, you've got a file that's all ready to be printed out. Okay, thanks for watching. Next time I'll show you how to take your Word document and produce a series of PDFs, one for each signature that you'll be printing out and then binding into your book. Thanks.